Hello soulmate, you are welcome back to Fanny Matt YouTube channel. If this is your first time of stopping by, please do well to subscribe to my channel. Turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload new videos. Today I'll be teaching you how to make this gorgeous turtleneck dress. As you can see, this is my client. She's looking so beautiful in her outfit, and you can tell she loves her outfit. So I'll be teaching you how to make this. If you are interested in this video, if you're interested in this tutorial, please keep on watching. So to get started, I'll be marking 1.5 inches on my pattern paper. This is a guideline, okay? This is my border line. Okay, so once I'm done marking this down all the way to the end, I'm just going to connect the points together. So now I'll be marking the length of my dress. I'll be adding 1 inch for the hem allowance. So once I'm done marking that, I'm going to come over to the start line. So that I'll be marking my shoulder to bust, shoulder to waist, and shoulder to hip line. So that's what I'm connecting now with a straight line. Shoulder to bust, waist, hip, and then the hem of my dress. So because it's a stretchy fabric, her shoulder is 16 inches. So instead of me to mark at 8 inches, I'll be marking at 7 inches because this outfit is very stretchy. So for the neckline, I did 2.5 inches and I slant the shoulder by 1 inch. So our armhole is 8.5, but I'll be marking at 7.5. This is because you don't want the armhole to be too wide. If you mark at the exact 8.5, the armhole will be too wide because this outfit is a very stretchy outfit and you want the armhole to lap on the body perfectly. So on that armhole line, I'll be coming in on the center part by 0.75 and I'll connect like so. I'll be marking my bust circumference measurement. So when you are marking this, make sure you minus 4 inches from your total bust circumference, your waist circumference, and your hip circumference. Okay, if your bust is 44, you mark 40. You hope you understand. You divide your bust by 40 instead of 44. So whatever answer you get for your hip line measurement, you remove 5 inches and you mark that at the hem. Okay, this is so that you will have a very nice, perfect fitting. If you use seam allowance, it might be too wide. So for the back neckline, I'll be doing 1 inch, and for the front, I'll be doing 3 inches. So now I'm done with my pattern and I'm going to cut this out. So I drafted both the front pattern and the back pattern together. So you can see that I started my marking from the start line. Okay, so I'm just going to fold that point like so. That is not part of our measurement. So because the fabric is a very stretchy fabric, you have to reduce your fabric. If you use your exact measurement, it's going to be too wide. Okay, so now that I'm done closing that allowance down, I'm going to cut out on my fabric. You can see this fabric, the stretchy part, the part that is very stretchy, will go round your bust circumference, round your hip circumference, while the part that is less stretchy, as you can see on this fabric, goes all the way down to the hem. I hope you understand. This stretchy part should always go round your bust circumference, round your hip circumference, round your waist circumference. Okay, so I'm just going to fold my fabric into two to cut out the front pattern first. So I've placed my pattern on top of my fabric and I'm just going to cut this out. So when you are doing this, make sure your pattern is not moving. You need to place something on your pattern so that your pattern stays put. So I will not be cutting out the neckline for the front for now. I'm going to just keep the front aside and then we will cut the back. So before we cut the back, I'm going to be doing a little bit of modification for the back. We all know that our front and back pattern is not the same. So we are going to remove the difference we have on the back pattern. So now I've opened up my border line and I'm just going to measure my back half length. Okay, what I measured initially was the front half length. So since we are done cutting out the front pattern, let's remove the back pattern. Let's remove the difference. So for my client, hers is 2.5 inches different from the waist. So I went up on that waistline by 2.5 inches and I'm slanting like so to meet the front waistline. You can see what I did. I slant to meet the front waistline. So now I'm just going to use my paper scissors to slash this open. So once I'm done slashing this open, I'm going to place the upper part on the waistline. So you can see the way I'm placing it. That back waistline must be on top of the front waistline. So that's what I just did there and I'm taping this down. So in order for us not to have shortage at the hemline, so I can now mark that part as my back waistline. So in order for us not to have shortage at the back, because we have to replace what we took out from the waistline, okay? So we have to slash this hem, we have to slash the hip line open and we will replace what we took out. Please follow me, otherwise you are going to have a very bad zipper bulge and you are not going to like it at all. This fabric, this outfit will not be lined. So please follow me closely. After slashing this open, take another paper and place underneath it. Then you use your paper tape to tape the upper part. Okay, the upper part, you tape it down first. Once you are done taping that down, let me turn my paper so that you will see what I'm doing very well. So you can see what I did. Once I'm done slashing that open, you are just going to replace whatever you took out. For my client, her difference is 2.5 inches. So if you are making this kind of outfit, please use your own difference. Yours might be 1 inch, yours might be 1.5, 2 inches. Do you understand? So replace whatever you took out, mark it down, mark it down on your actual line. You can see the start line that we have there. Mark it down on that start line part and align the pattern paper together like so, and you go ahead and tape this down. So now that I'm done taping this down, I'm just going to connect that lines together like so. Connect the line. So now that I'm done connecting the lines, I'm just going to tape this down perfectly so it does not move. Okay, and I'll move over to the waistline. I'll cut out this excess pattern paper first, and I'll move over to the waistline. So on my waistline, you can see that the lines has shifted. So that part has shortage. You can see. So now I'm just going to connect the points together, the lines together. You can see what I did there. So once I'm done connecting that lines together, I can now input my zipper allowance measurement. Remember I said that this initial line I have there is just a border line. So I'll be using 1/2 inch for my zipper allowance, and I'll be marking that 1/2 inch like so. And I'm going to cut out the excess pattern paper that I don't need. So before you mark out your zipper allowance, make sure you connect all the lines together so you don't have any shortage. Now I'm going to trim out the back neckline alone. The back neckline alone. So now I'm going to place this on my fabric. My fabric is folded into two. And note that this back piece is going to be two piece. Okay, the front is just one because it was placed on fold, but this back will not be placed on fold because there will be a zipper at the back. So make sure your fabric is not, your pattern paper is not moving. Make sure you place something heavy on top of it. Okay, so now I'm just going to trim out the excess that I have there. So now that I'm done cutting the back piece, I'm just going to fold that zipper allowance inward and trim out the front neckline. I'll bring my front fabric like so, and I'll place my pattern paper on top of it, and I'll cut out the front neckline. So now this is what my front looks like after I'm done cutting. So now I'm going to place the back on top of it. So I will sew down the shoulder by 1/2 inch, and on the side seam I will sew down by 1 inch. So this is my neckline. I've pinned the shoulders together, and I trimmed 1/2 inch from the front neckline and also 1/2 inch from the back neckline. My shoulder of 2.5 inches neck width remains the same. Okay, this is because I did not add any joining allowance for the shoulder part. Okay, for the shoulder, I didn't add any joining allowance. So that's why I had to trim 1/2 inch from the front neck width and 1/2 inch from the back neck width. So what I have here on this fabric is 2.5 inches for the front neck width, 3 inches for the front neck depth, and 1 inch for the back neck depth, minus my joining allowance for the shoulder. To draft out our turtleneck pattern, I'm going to take my pattern paper and I'm just going to fold it like so. As you can see, I'll fold it like so. Okay, I'm folding this like a bias. So I'm just going to come down by 10 inches You can do 9.5 or 9 inches if you're on the slim side. So I'm coming down by 10 inches and I'm just going to connect the points together. So for my turtle neckline, I want my turtle neckline to be 1.75. If you don't want yours to be too high, you can do 1.5 inches. If you want it to be high, you can do 1.75 or 2 inches. It depends on what you like. Okay, so I'm doing 1.75 inches. So now that I'm done marking that, I'm going to mark the hem of this line that I've drawn. Okay, so I have 9.5. So when you are doing this, make sure you measure the neckline of your client, and after you are done, make sure you measure the neckline of the outfit as well. So that's what you are going to use to cut out. So you can see me just adding 1/2 inch on the upper part of this my pattern paper and 1/2 inch on the lower part of the pattern paper for my sewing allowance. Okay, my fabric is a very stretchy fabric, so that's the reason why I added 1/2 inch for my allowance. Okay, that's 1/2 inch for the upper part and another 1/2 inch for the lower part. So this is me pressing paper stay on top of my fabric before cutting out. If you don't press this paper stay on your fabric, you might get a wrong answer, okay, because this fabric is a stretchy fabric. So you want it to be as stable as possible because you are cutting the turtle neckline. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this out now. So for the front part of this turtleneck, because of the sequence on the fabric, you cannot use the same fabric to do the lining part of the turtleneck. Okay, so that's the reason why for this front part I'll be using the main fabric, which is the sequence fabric. So for my lining piece, I used a plain velvet fabric, a plain velvet fabric. If you don't have a plain velvet fabric, you can use a satin fabric. So you can see that I've pressed my paper stay on top of this my lining piece. So you can just see me placing the front part that I cut out on top of it like so, to get the back neckline, to get the lining piece. So I'm just going to trim out the excess that I have. If you use this same sequence fabric as the lining piece, your client will be uncomfortable in the outfit because it will be pricking the neckline. So, and you don't want that. So you can see what I have. So on this my sequin fabric, which is the on this my sequence fabric, I'm just going to press down 1/2 inch like so, all the way down to the end. You can use your tape to get your 1/2 inch accurately if you can't eyeball 1/2 inch. So now I'm going to fold my lining piece. I will notch the center point, both the up and down. I'll fold the main turtleneck and I'll notch the upper part as well. So once I'm done doing that, I'll place them right sides facing each other and I'll sew down 1/2 inch on the upper part. So now that I'm done doing that, I'm going to give it a good notch. I'll notch all the way down to the end. Don't forget, in tailoring, you have to notch your curves. Okay, so once I'm done notching my curves, if you like, you can trim out the excess and you can as well leave it if you so desire. So now I'm going to take my fabric my dress, I'll remove my pins and I'll open up. I'll put my pin on the center point of the neckline. This is so that I can get the center point accurately. So now I'm taking the wrong side. I'm sewing this from the wrong side. So you can see me joining my lining piece of the turtleneck with the wrong side of this outfit. So I'm going to pin it down and I'll sew this down only on the wrong side. Now that I'm done sewing on the wrong side, you can see how clean and beautiful the wrong side looks. Now I'm just going to place this right side on top of it like so, and I'm going to top stitch this down very close to the edge. So now that I'm done top stitching, you can see how this is looking clean and beautiful. So that's the aim. I'll give this a good press because you have to press. You have to press your work. Very, very important. So once I'm done pressing, we'll move over to fixing the zipper for this outfit. So before you fix your zipper, you have to turn your fabric, your dress to the wrong side. So this is what the wrong side of my dress looks like. So now the secret is to use a masking tape. Okay, some people call this a masking tape, some call it cello tape, some call it paper tape. So whichever one you call it. Okay, but this is a paper tape. So you can now place the paper tape on your zipper allowance. On your zipper allowance, this is to avoid stretch because this does not have lining, so you cannot use S-tape for it. So use your paper tape, but make sure that you follow the direction of your stretch when you are cutting your outfit. So now I'm going to join the lower part and I'll go ahead and fix my zipper. You can see now I'm done fixing my zipper. And I also attached my label to the wrong side of the dress. So now that I'm done fixing the zipper, I'm just going to remove the tape. So you don't need the tape. We are done with the tape. The tape has done its work. So I'm just going to remove the tape, as you can see, and this is what our dress is looking like already. So now I'm going to measure the armhole of this dress, and I'm going to go ahead and cut my sleeve. So I attach this sleeve off camera. It's just the sleeve length is 5 inches sleeve length. That's what I used for this video. You can see my client looking gorgeous. She's so in love with her dress. Please leave a thumbs up for this video if you enjoyed watching me sew. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.